Hey, I'm Andy. We're over here at Brew Rebellion. We got the Tapping Out show here today. We're going to start off with our anniversary beer. We've got it in a bottle. We added some cocoa nibs and vanilla, but what we're drinking is what we have on tap. We have just a little bit left, and it also has fresh cold brewed coffee and cinnamon to it. So my favorite beer. It goes great with a cigar. Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Cheers.
Breakfast beers.
Breakfast beers.
Wow.
You know what's funny too is that like, on the nose, you still get like almost like a cold brew coffee.
Yeah.
But the taste is like it's really creamy too, and I'm not sure if it's cinnamon. I'm not sure quite what I'm picking up at the moment. But
It smells like chocolate and coffee to me, but I just like chocolate and coffee, so I just kind of associate.
Well, I mean, the cocoa is very like a prevalent thing too, but he wasn't kidding when you said it's a breakfast stout. I mean, in the best way possible. So
and it's really like a Vietnamese iced coffee because of the drinkability. Because if you get an iced coffee, sometimes it's still thick like coffee. It's not as easy to drink.
So we put lactose in it, and the Vietnamese coffee is what we've done for our regular one, and then we bourbon barrel aged this one.
Nice.
I like pho, and I always like going and getting the coffee. Every time I go, I got to get 2 or 3 coffees.
Now, this guy over here,
I love it.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It's funny too because think about the lactose concept and think about Vietnamese coffee with the condensed milk. I mean, it's a perfect mashup. I mean, even to brew it that way, I mean, it's exactly how it is. Because you can French press
it out in the end too. Was
right. Because you can French press it. It's cold. Mm-hmm. It's still tasty, and then like same thing with the beer. You add the lactose, real creamy. I mean, I'm surprised a lot more people have not tried the Vietnamese coffee stouts. Just in general, just the way it's made.
We live in Orange County. I'm surprised I haven't heard that. Yeah, I mean, it's super popular and. When you told us that, I was like, light bulb went off because we like coffee stouts already. So it's pretty amazing that they're able to do this. Now, alcohol volume on this guy again.
So this one's in the 9.2 range.
I had a feeling that it was sneaky on the alcohol.
No,
it doesn't taste. It tastes like a 5 or 6, 4% kind of guy, but
real drinkable.
Real drinkable.
It's boozy, but not like. Hit you in the chest,
hot. So our regular Vietnamese coffee stout is in the 7.1 range, and then we bourbon barrel aged it for a year, and then we blended it with a newer batch, and we just did a lot to this. This was our anniversary beer, but we opened up on my birthday, so it's also my birthday beer.
Awesome. Well, happy anniversary.
That's why they put that good-looking guy on the tag there.
Nice.
And if you take a look, all of our coffee milk stouts have zombies on them, and I get to slice up the Mega Beer Corporation zombies, so that's kind of cool.
There you go.
Nice.
Hey guys, my name is Jeremy. This is Matt. We're at Brew Rebellion out in San Bernardino, California. We're going to test out some new beers. Some we've tried, some we haven't tried. And this one is...
This is our salty watermelon gosa. I got my shirt on. So it's going to be a hot day, and this is a great beer on a hot day.
It's you can smell it too. It's amazing.
So my dad was one of these guys who he'd get a big watermelon, get a big slice, and he'd pour salt all over it, and he'd just devour that. So when we were going to do the gosa, the first thing we ever did was the salty watermelon, and this is the one that we put on. And we went through a whole keg yesterday it was our cosmic version where we put some glitter in it. It looked kind of cool. Just something we're messing around with. And I thought we were going to have that when I showed up this morning, but evidently we blew that one yesterday. So yeah, this is the one. If you're at the river, we put it in cans. If you're at the beach, you could drink several of them. It's only 4%, but it's got a really good flavor profile to it. And the slightly sour and salty is really refreshing. And then the watermelon.
Right. Well, say the sour with the sweet with the watermelon, and then just that salt taste. I mean, like you said, it's summer. It tastes like summer.
I don't do well with a lot of sours. That's normally when I just turn away. So I really like the way you did this. I don't even like salt that much on my food, and the way you did it is good. It's almost reminds me of like salt water. And it's really good, and it's got the hint of watermelon. It's a little sour, but it's not like usually sours are just too sour for me, you know, and this is a good blend of all three, and it's really drinkable summer, you know.
It's funny because most goes too are like above that, you know what I mean? Like you got your sours and you got your goes beers, and then like goes beers, it's not just a fruit taste, but it's sour, and I think the salt on this really does kind of like balance out the two between the sweet and sour, and it makes it really, really sessionable, really drinkable. And that's why I'm saying, like, to me, this is a summer beer. I mean, it's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Barbecue style, like you said, the beach, the river. Like, this is something that would definitely be in the cooler, especially in cans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it ice cold.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to nail something like this too. I mean, mixing sour and salt and watermelon. You know, there's got to be a balance of too much. You know, not too much of this, not too much of that, but definitely nailed it. Really drinkable and. You know, like you said, real sessionable, which makes it perfect for summertime.
A lot of people like to say it tastes like a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
This is our double IPA that we brewed with oranges. It's got almost a pound of oranges per gallon, which is a shit ton.
Wow.
A pound of oranges per gallon. I just wanted to soak that in.
So we put it in. We took oranges and we purate them. We got them down to as small as you can get. Every part of the orange, you know, it's got everything. And nice. Then in fermentation, we did a blood orange puree that we put in.
Big fan of the blood orange these days.
Well, especially a lot of like the New England style ones too, where it's just.
We were just talking about on the way here. It's like almost that perfect fruit where. When you eat it, it's kind of weird, but when you add it to stuff and drinks, it's just kind of almost like grapefruit or something.
Sweet and tart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a pretty good additive. So I seem to have a pretty good run with blood oranges and beers. I don't think I've had one yet that I haven't liked.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. And you know, years ago I was out in Florida and I was at a beer event, and Cigar City had like I think they just added a bunch of oranges right to the beer. They had a growler and they were pouring. And I can't remember what they called it, but it was like the best thing I had all day. I was like, man, you know what? I try to perfect a few different styles, and to me, this is the most orange that we've ever done in anything, and it's orange as fuck. I mean, it's got almost a pound of oranges, and it's 95% dry hopped.
Really?
It's a lot of hops in there, so it's more of a juicy. You know, and it's not super hazy, but it does have a haze to it.
Yeah, it's almost like hazy.
Well, it's like 9 or 10% too, isn't it? It's
like
got a pretty good 9.8.
Oh, 9.8.
This sounds like it's right up my alley. You better hurry up and drink it.
Cheers,
guys. This is one I've drank a lot of lately. A couple cans will get you.
Yeah, this is the one that I would be drinking nonstop until it left here, because this I like orange, like I like fruit, and he always tries to get me to drink sours, and I was like, I like fruit, not bad
sour,
fruit, right? You know, sour fruit. To me, this is a perfect blend of beer and fruit for someone like me that likes both.
It is just perfect enough of the sweet from the orange, the little tart, and then the dry hop just finishes like a true.
It almost reminds you of
IPA.
Soccer practice when you were a kid, when they were just giving you orange slices.
Just sucking on them. Yeah.
Maybe if they gave you a beer along with that when you're, you know.
It's funny too. Again, going back to even like the Vietnamese stout that we had, you cannot taste the fact that this is a 10% alcohol beer. It's super sessionable. It's easy drinking. It really is, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, you know, you have 2 cans and you feel. I mean, you have 1 can, you're like, okay, I got a buzz going. You get 2 cans, you're like, okay, I'm done for a little bit. I gotta relax. And we did some bottles just for the tasting room, but this is from our taps. All of our cans have been gone for a while. So you know, the double IPAs we've been doing, the milkshake IPAs we've been doing.
You can taste the full, like you said, you put the full orange in this. You could taste the full orange.
Well, that's
like you smell the outside rind. You know, I can almost
get
that
so
in
much
there.
smell from the rind and the peel itself. You know, you can sit there and you can
like how they zest
it all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting.
You know, I've seen a lot of breweries throughout who just decimate the orange and put it in, and I was like, you know, that's the way to do it. You get everything from it. You get juiciness from the orange.
Well, and that's the thing, is it really is like just the scent that it gives off initially. I mean, it's everything from, like you said, when you're a kid, you got the orange in your mouth, but then you can still smell like the zest to it, and it's almost that full flavor, and at the same point, you can tell it's dry hopped.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, when you're done, when you're expecting it just to be real overbearing and dry and heavy on your throat, it's not.
I like dry hop, but I don't like dry. Like English kind of like. So I always just kind of wait and see what happens. But it's amazing how he did this. This might be my new favorite orange double IPA. Sorry, everybody else, but you know. No, but this is awesome because I like oranges, I like IPAs, and I like you know, like with this guy, I can drink a lot of the super hoppy stuff, but it's hard to find something like that and it gets into 10% that he likes, you know, because normally it gets real skunky.
And sometimes they get overly sweet too.
Yes, very much so.
And I like a well-balanced beer, no matter what it is. But like IPAs, we didn't do IPAs for a while because when we first opened up, we'd do like an English or East Coast style IPA, and everybody was used to the West Coast style IPA, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's not an IPA." Blah blah. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna do we're gonna do stouts. We're gonna do all this because I got tired of listening to people who were telling me what my beer should be.
You're not doing it right.
You know, and then now that the New England styles come out and all the dry hopping, that's always my favorite part of brewing is, you know, when we're mixing in the grains, the smell, and, you know, I like to taste the malt in a beer.
Yeah.
You know? And not overly, but, you know, a balance.
And I think a lot of the fact that it was so saturated for a while with the West Coast, that it's cool to see breweries now do their take on what an IPA, what they think of it, not what everyone else thinks it is.
Right.
It's like, now it's our turn. Let me show you what I think this should taste like.
What I'm seeing is a lot of breweries having like 5 or 6 versions now.
Yeah.
You know, like I went to a brewery the other day and they had a double and the single of every. So like their hazy had a double and single, and so like I mean I was just doing taste flights of IPAs, which is awesome for me because I like IPAs, and I think that's kind of cool. People are doing that because I like all the different styles, but I only like certain ones. You know, some are too dry, I like dry, but some are too dry, some are, you know, too whatever. So, you know, I kind of like it that everyone's doing different styles.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think with this one, I think, you know, probably where you hit it out of the park was you said you put a pound of oranges for every.
And not just oranges, a pound of all of the orange.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And you're able to sneak in about 10% alcohol. You know, like that's usually the kind of beer I'm looking for. It's good flavor, not too hard to drink, something I throw down, and I don't have to drink too many of them to feel it. You know, like to me, that's a perfect beer.
Well, and the dry hop too, it's killer because it's not overbearing. It's not at all, and that's a big thing right now with a lot of the dry hopped IPAs is that you can get ones, and even with the best flavor in the world, if it's super dry hopped, it finishes that way. It really does, and you're kind of going, ooh, like.
Well, I would say in this one, it's just more a way to it kind of just it's like
a
slight one.
I think it accentuates the orange a lot. Yeah, I really do. And but that's the thing with a lot of the fruit ones too, is that you add that kind of like either the dry hops or even like some of like the citra hops. They add even a little bit more citrus flavor, because me and you have talked about it before. Like there's beers where it really does have citrus in it, but then there's beers that have no citrus in it whatsoever, and it's just from the hopping process.
Yeah. And this has Citra. It's got Mosaic. It's got Columbus. I use Columbus in a lot of beers because I'm from Columbus, so you know, just makes sense to me.
Oh yeah.
I grow my own hops, and they're all Columbus hops. And,
oh, okay.
Nice.
You know, once a year I do my a beer for my dad. It's called Hops on Pops. You know, I use Columbus hops from my garden.
Nice. There you go.
So this is our mango double IPA, and it's 9.2%. And this is similar to the oranges that we did, but instead of oranges we did mango.
Did you mango up pretty heavy on these, or?
We didn't do as much mango as we did the oranges, just a different fruit. But we still did the Mosaic, we still did the Citra, we still did the Columbus.
It's funny too because the aroma to it, you can smell the hops more than you could on the orange one, but you still can get that fruit like smell to it. Wow. You know it's funny too is it's the hops on this one almost make it crisp.
Yeah, this one's a little more hoppy because it's a little less fruity, but the mangoes are in there. And I've been enjoying these ones too.
Yeah, no, I like.
Is there any other fruit besides mango in here, or is it just mango?
Just mango.
I think it's just the hops,
The hops
you
you're
use to
tasting,
get
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
asking.
the
'cause
Citra hops you're gonna get that orangey from that. So
I'm kind of picking up that oranginess on top. That's why I was wondering if it was the hops or just.
Well, because I like the hop dryness to it that gives it's like a crisp taste. You know what's funny? It reminds me of sparkling water. Like that,
okay.
like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of like almost tingly on your tongue, real crisp feel. And that adds with the mango and the Citra to where you do get a lot of the fruit on the back end, and that's why I was glad you said that too, because I was like, oh, is that orange? Is that grapefruit? Like I was trying to kind of.
Because I was picking that up. I assumed it was the hops, but I didn't want to assume because every time I do that, I'm wrong. So I kind of assumed that. That's why I asked, because it tastes like you accented it with a little bit of oranges, which is awesome because. You know, it's just the hops that's in it.
Yeah, it's very complex.
No,
It's a fun drinking beer. And
we're at 9.2.
Yeah, 9.2.
It's a good number.
Mm-hmm. And it's well balanced. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly hoppy.
Not too dry. Yeah, it's a good balance. I like it.
No,
it's really drinkable too.
It is more dry than the last one we did because it's not quite as much fruit to it.
I'm actually really digging this one. I really am. Like I'm surprised on how, because when I first tasted it, like I said, you can taste the hops up front. You always say I'm hop intolerant. But the way it crisps out, I'm like, oh yeah, with the fruit, it kind of jazzes
Well,
me
mango is one of my least favorite fruits, and sometimes when we do mango stuff, it doesn't bother me. Sometimes it's too mango. I don't even pick it up really. It's like I pick up a little bit of it. Usually what I don't like about mango is the back end taste of it. So the citrus kind of canceled it out. So immediately that's why I asked that, because it's got a mango front end taste. But to me, the back end taste really is the taste of a mango. I don't like that much, maybe because I had a lot when I was a kid or something. But this has like the beginning taste of mango, and it cuts into citrus. And it almost tastes like orange grapefruit, but like you said, it's just the hops in it, which is pretty awesome. And then it's a little dry, but not too dry, which is perfect. And then you got 9% alcohol, which you can't really do any wrong with all that.
You could do all kinds of wrong with that.
I mean, in the creation of the beer, of course, afterwards there's all kinds of trouble you can get into, but
not for the weak of heart.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a theme a lot with your guys' beers. The alcohol content does not show in a lot of the beers, and we were talking about that off camera, where people take things a little too far to the extreme, and the tastes come forward with the alcohol, and they don't really try to make the flavors balance with it well. We're talking about with the BA stouts and
and some of them are just too hot. Just too much alcohol, and alcohol is a good thing, but if you got to take a beer and sit on it for 3 or 4 years before it becomes good, then you got a collection like I do. I mean,
you got a cellar, right? Seems like a common theme of your beers is, which I like, is drinkability and good flavor.
Yes.
The alcohol content.
Fun. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and beer should be this, beer should be that. Beer should be fun. You should enjoy a beer. You should be able to go out and have fun on your boat, go fishing, whatever, drink some beers. It doesn't have to be so serious. We put fruit in a lot of stuff. We do a lot of non-traditional. We put cereal in beers.
Right.
But traditional beers are great.
Yes.
As long as you're having fun. I'm drinking this over here still.
That's his breakfast, by the way.
This is my breakfast. But I've been drinking out of a plastic cup, and I don't give a fuck. People will be, it's got to have a tulip. It's got to have. Hey, that's fine. If you have a tulip, that's fine. Put it in there and enjoy it. If that's how you have to enjoy it, but don't tell me how I'm going to enjoy my beer.
Exactly.
If I'm going to put it in a plastic cup, I'm going to put it in a plastic cup, and I'm going to drink the beer. If I'm going to have a beer like this, I am okay having a frosted mug and drinking it cold, and then drinking it slow. And as you get down, it warms and
it changes the taste, and it makes
it's like a story.
Yes.
It just the flavor changes, and then you get down, and then the bourbon comes out, and then the cocoa nibs comes out, and the vanilla, and you're like, oh wow, that's a different beer from when I started.
Exactly.
So we have a show on Amazon Prime. It's called Barely Beer Barons, and the guy who was producing that wanted us to make the hottest beer in the world, and I think we did. And it was so hot.
Is that what I'm about to drink?
No,
not at all. So we've done a lot of pepper beers, but that had Trinidad Scorpion chilies, that had ghost peppers, and if you drank that much, it was punishing. I mean, it was really punishing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do our jalapeno IPA. We designed this so it's a very good jalapeno flavor without heat.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
So we put that in fermentation.
You can smell
So
it. That's
you-
amazing.
It's got a
Cheers.
great jalapeno smell, great jalapeno flavor, but it's very drinkable.
Are you kidding me?
It's not going to burn you up.
Dude.
That's awesome. My mom would love this.
Oh, yeah. No.
Great
You
with tacos.
My mom roasts chilies.
That's exactly what this tastes
Yeah,
like, too.
she roasts green chilies, not habaneros, but she roasts New Mexico green chilies, and this reminds me of it.
Oh,
but like
come
you
on.
said, you're not paying for it either because they like to
I'm gonna
have a
get a
lot
little
more.
Yeah, no, sorry. We switched to the smaller glasses just so we could drink out of anything, and beer is still fun.
Yeah. You want... I'm having more.
You know, have a little bit more.
Man, I'm just blown away from the flavor of this.
That's
This is
insane.
perfect for people that can't handle hot food, but they like flavor.
Yes.
So,
I can
someone
totally agree
says,
with
"Oh,
that.
I don't eat, won't eat this chili because, it's going to do this to me or it's going to be too hot." Not with this. And I thought you guys were about to light me up with some hot ass beer right now because he's done that shit to me before. This is just flavor, which I love flavor. I mean, I'm barely even picking up any little warmness in my mouth from it.
Very little bit
Less
on the
than
back.
like a mild
There-
salsa.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can eat salsa
Yeah.
at a typical Mexican
Del
restaurant.
Taco mild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I actually think
But-
Del Taco Mild probably has a little bit more kick than this.
Yeah.
But the flavor is just amazing. I mean, I gotta go.
Smells
I
like
gotta
it.
take a can of this to my family just because.
Dude,
they
your
would
mom
lo-
would
yeah,
love
my
this.
dad would too. He's that guy. But it's just crazy that they would like the hot though. But the fact that you can add this without it, because normally you're making salsa, you don't put the seeds in there. You
Right,
not
right,
make it too
right.
hot. But I mean. I don't know scientifically how you did it, but it's amazing. Because normally you have to pay the price for
Oh,
the
you
spice,
get punished.
Right,
for the
spice.
good flavor, right? So
This other one, it's not super hot.
Okay.
But there is heat. This is a habanero. So we have we've got a contest here, and Anthony Stone is a guy who won our contest to be on the label, and then he wanted to do the mango habanero, and then we started doing milkshakes. So all of our milkshakes have this cowl on it, and so we made Anthony Stone the
Yeah.
cowl.
nice.
He does stand-up comedy. Funny guy. Now this one does have heat, but it's not going to kill you heat, and it's a milkshake. So the one thing about this one is you're going to get spice, you're going to get a little sweetness, and then on the very back end, how this one had that little spice, you're going
Right.
to get a little vanilla kick to it.
Really?
It's really interesting.
Cool.
And we've done some habanero beers that have, like we did our Chris Martin S'more Porter with habanero, which is chocolate and habanero, so it's sweet.
I
And then
think I'd
I used to
that
tell
one.
people at events, drink the whole glass. It's not going to kill you, but it would scare people because right when you think it's going to get hot, that chocolate kind of rush over and clear your palate. So, so this is our milkshake.
What is
wow.
this? This one's at the first one we drank was at
It's
5.8.
It's 5.8. This one's I think
This
9.
one's 9.2.
Yeah.
Okay, so quite
This is a double IPA.
nice jump.
Yeah.
So
But
this is
I
a
wanted to
milkshake,
show you the difference between the
habanero
peppers.
mango, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, smell it on like just the aroma on it, like on the nose. I can smell more like a mango, but you can still get that little bit of heat, like even from the smell. Like it's.
And it's a milkshake, so it has lactose, which is a
Wow,
non-fermentable sugar.
Are you kidding me?
So this one's going to be spicier. This is going to be
A little
more. This is going to be like a burrito with a lot of red sauce on it, kind of spicy, just for regular people, but definitely worth it. I'd say maybe red like Tapatio or something. It's not too
Yeah.
spicy.
Okay, I got you.
But
It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah,
you don't know
not
the
gonna
scoping
kill you.
units, bro. You
No,
know
I'm
IBU,
saying-
but you don't know scoping
Well, I'm
units.
saying like I should, right? But what I'm saying is, the other one was more flavor. This one's a little spice to it, but the front end taste is amazing. Like you mentioned, the milkshake and the mango, you get a sugary kind of lactose in the front, and then you just get a little spice.
yeah. I can
So
see
it's
the
almost
cream.
like when you bite into a burrito, you know it's loaded, but you haven't tasted it yet, and then you're like, boom, and it hits you, and that flavor hits you.
Well,
It's kind of like that, but it's not overpowering. But it's really awesome the way it's done, because I haven't had a jalapeno beer that was kind of front loaded like that.
And then this one's
And
like
then kind of
on
just
the back.
fades into
Yeah.
it, but it's
Yeah.
not. But usually if it fades into the spice in the end, you're done for. You know what I mean? You're like, ah.
Well, which is funny because I actually think the jalapeno one actually does, like, you think it's going to be spice right off the bat, and then it's like super chill. And then this one, it's like the mango with just like that creamy lactose.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, cool. And then that habanero at the end is what gets you a little like on the back, and you're like, oh, okay, like
kind of like typical habanero where you're like, oh, it's not so bad, and then but normally it just keeps going. Like I remember when I first had habanero, I drink a bunch of water. I'm like, how do you turn this thing off, right? So this is a good way of doing it, and still kicking up the spice a little bit.
That's a trip, right? The second time around, is it spicy at all? You just kind of get that like that lactose.
I think the
flavor.
front end, the lactose that you were talking about, because it's front loaded, it kind of takes away. The more you drink it, it's taking away more. Almost like when you're a kid, where they tell you to drink milk or something to get it to go away, put ice on your tongue, kind of deal. It's almost seems like that front end taste. The second time around is almost taking away any of that burn that would come.
I agree.
But I definitely like the first one first, just because it has only because it has more flavor and no
put
spice.
half of that and put just a little.
I was
spice
thinking
on
of
it,
blending.
see what
Yeah,
that does.
I was thinking of blending the two myself.
Pepper snake
actually.
bites.
And that's what I like about trying different beers too. Is a lot of them. You drink it, you kind of think of like people you know that would love this beer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I go somewhere and I'll be like, "Hey, Jeremy would love this
that's
beer.
a good blend.
My dad
I
would
like
like
that
this
too.
beer." You know,
That took away a lot of the heat.
It did,
Just
and
by-
again, you know what's funny is that it's weird. The jalapeno gives it more of a habanero taste too. Like,
oh man,
isn't that's cool,
you
right?
know what's crazy is you mix the two, and it reminds me of like jalapeno nachos.
Yes.
You know that you know,
the chops.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't have that jalapeno kill that you're gonna, you know, you taste it, then you find out how hot they are, you know, kind of deal. That's awesome. Though.
Yeah, that's
good
cool.
job on that.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
killer.
So this is our peanut butter stout. It's an imperial stout. It's 10.1%.
Our best favorite kind of stuff.
You know,
Smell it. Just smell that aroma.
You said 10 point what? I'm sorry.
10.1.
Nice. And this is barrel aged or not?
Right off the
barrel-aged?
Not barrel aged. This
No.
is just an imperial stout. A lot of peanut butter going on here.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So this is one you can get at Bevmo's. You can get it in bottle shops and bottles. And all of our wax has a meaning to it. Like this one is a peanut butter colored wax. We take different colored wax and blend them together so we can get that peanut butter color. Or
Nice.
we've done wax with cereal, white wax for a milk stout with pieces of cereal in it. Our chocolate strawberry stout has, you know, red wax and chocolate colored wax, which we blend.
That's awesome.
10%.
Yeah,
No, this is crazy because a regular guy that can't handle 10%, sorry, guy or girl, regular person that can't handle a 10.1% stout normally can drink this because this tastes like a 4 or 5% milk stout, peanut butter stout, you know, kind of deal. Very easy to drink, not too thick either because
Not
normally
at all.
sometimes on the alcohol contents it gets a little syrupy.
Especially the
So
Imperials,
it's
like it
blended
gets
very well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm a big fan of Imperial beers because I just like to go for the strong alcohol, but I don't want to, like we've been talking about, I don't want to be punished for it. I mean, I'll take a little bit of punishment, but
For the alcohol,
you know,
I'll take
I don't
punishment,
want
but, you know.
but I want to enjoy it, and you know, I want to know what I'm drinking at the same time. But this is amazing because you know, it tastes like a 5, maybe 5.5%.
It has more alcohol, but without the heat, and then
Right.
it brings out more flavor.
No, it
It's
does.
It's not super light.
Yeah.
This is-
Our stouts are not a lot of black patent and a lot of chocolate, but it's you get the color. They're not over chalky.
I mean, if you can handle the alcohol content, I mean, this would be a go-to stout for stout guys. At 10.1%, easy drinkability. You know, it's amazing.
This is one of the ones that is in Bevmo's, in bottle shops, and you know there's bottle shops that every time we have it, that's what they want. You know?
Oh yeah, no,
So
I
it
don't
sells out
blame
like
them.
that.
And what is the name, what is the name of this beer again?
John Paul Jones, which
John
is all
Paul
of
Jones.
our big stouts, our imperial stouts, and it's peanut butter. So it's the same
Please
base
pick
recipe,
this up.
but then we add different stuff to it.
Please pick this up.
So this is
so
John Paul Jones Peanut Butter Stout from Brew Rebellion. Check it out.
10.1.
If you can't get it, go online, go drive, get it, or come down here. It's really good.
Yeah, and
10.1, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Check it out.
We are getting our website together, so if you're in California, you'll be able to order it from our website, and it'll go straight to your
Cool.
house.
Yeah. So
So you heard it right here. 10.1 stout, drinks like 5%.
heavy
Brew
peanut butter.
Rebellion,
So
peanut
good.
butter. If you're not allergic to peanut butter, you should try it. Everyone that's not allergic to peanut butter.
If you do not
should
have a
try
peanut allergy, this is your beer. Please try it.
Yes, definitely. So Brew Rebellion, this is one of 999 beers that was distributed. John Paul Jones Chocolate Strawberry Imperial Stout.
Bourbon barrel aged blend.
11.1.
Jack Daniels barrel.
Nice.
Yeah. And when we do barrels, we'll do one barrel. So I think right now I've probably got about 6 or 7 barrels going. So it's all small batch stuff.
And on this beer, is this something you've been sitting on for a while, or is this pretty fresh, or how long is this beer?
This is something we don't have any more of. This is from my personal stash.
Thank you.
This went out. You're welcome. This went out a while back. This is the first bourbon barrel age thing we did in a can, and it's a blend with a fresh batch. So it's bourbony, but then it's still, it's still chocolate strawberry. You still taste all that. It's not just overly bourbon.
So not a lot of resin, but still like some flavor.
Yes.
Okay.
So you kind of blended the barrel age in instead of letting the whole beer sit in a barrel.
Right.
Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay,
So
cool.
we did 150 gallons, and then we blended in the barrel. So
Cool.
but
Nice.
it was 200 gallons, which is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really.
When it comes to mass producing that,
I was gonna say,
if it comes to a backyard party, that's a lot of beer. But when it comes to when you're trying to sell and bottle it, you said how many beers you get out? You get out something like that, probably.
Out of one barrel itself is about 196 bottles.
Okay.
So and we did 999 cans out of this batch. So everything we do is 50 cases maybe in cans, 60 cases in bottles, and then we have some kegs for the tasting room.
Awesome.
So it's all people, they'll go, man, you guys are everywhere. But we work really hard, we self-distribute, and we go to the best bottle shops. We're in Bevmo's. Here locally, we're in Stater Brothers.
Really? Nice.
We were just talking about how much we like Stater Brothers.
All right, so because I've been smelling this ever since you guys were talking.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Because it smells amazing. Oh, come on. Tart,
Wow.
sweet, heavy, still real chill. It's not like you still get a little bit of the barrel. You do, and it's funny because again,
Wow.
I mean, you still get a little bit of burn in this one, but for 11.1, this is not. Like again, we talked about. There's a theme with your guys' beers. The drinkability versus the alcohol content is amazing. It really is, and this.
And it tastes like strawberries before it hits a little bit of barrel, not too much. Normally, we're used to once you get over 10%, there's a barrel involved.
Yeah.
Normally, it tastes like someone dropped a shot in your beer, and what I call the vapors, because I remember being a bartender, making a drink, you pick up the vapors of whiskey or whatever. I don't even need to, have my mouth around it or my nose around it, but once you crack it, you can smell it. And I get that a lot probably from that past, but I'm not picking up the vapors on this. And normally when you have that high alcohol content, it seems like normally you have to.
It's very drinkable.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of our beers today, and you can feel it.
Right.
I mean, the alcohol is there. You just don't taste nothing but alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes I'll get a beer and I go, oh, that's. It usually when you get over 13%, it just gets too much.
Yeah,
And it's
even
just so
12%
hot.
sometimes. Like I've seen my wife saw me drinking a couple beers. She's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I paid $12 for this thing, and I'm gonna suffer through it." But I'm paying for every percent alcohol in this thing. Like every,
And you got to take that beer and you got to lay it down for 3-4 years,
yeah.
and then it's more drinkable. But that's what we like to do.
See, the cool thing is, and we talked about the aging process and how it drops out hops and everything else. It's funny, the thing that I think kind of cuts the alcohol content, at least with this beer, it's not even the strawberry, it's the chocolate. Mm-hmm. The chocolate is a very stable taste all the way through, even towards that back end burn from the barrel aging. It's like you still get that like chocolate coconut, almost like, it sounds bad, and I'm sure that's not what you guys use, but it tastes like a Hershey's bar. It really does have like a real sweet milk chocolate taste to it.
See, I pick up more strawberry, and the
Really?
chocolate is more of a transition for the flavoring.
Yeah, to me, the strawberry is the #1 flavor, and then you get the chocolate to the back.
And it kind of blends into the barrel.
Right.
And then that's when you're like, oh, I'm really going to pay for this 11% right now. And then you're like, oh, it's just a little hint of barrel, which,
If you get a
which is awesome.
chocolate-covered strawberry and you bite it, it's mostly strawberry and then a little chocolate.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going for.
Okay, so this is aged, regardless of the barrel. On top of that, it's chocolate and strawberry. You guys are picking up strawberry. I'm picking up more chocolate, but the barrel burn, because I still get a little bit of it. You can taste it. You can feel it.
You're a little sensitive.
It's 11.1. Yeah, well, I'm sensitive too. But at the same time, it's not like how we were talking about with most like aged beers, barrel aged or imperials, where you get punished for it. To me, that burn starts in, and the chocolate's like it's just there. It's almost soothing.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
It's there to transition the flavors, you know. And like you said, chocolate strawberry it's a big ass strawberry with chocolate around it. So really, you're biting into a strawberry that has a little bit of chocolate. So for me, that's what I'm kind of picking up is the cocoa is transitioning the flavors. Where you're kind of almost like when you have chocolate on your mouth when you're still eating like peanut butter and you're picking up the flavor because it's kind of stuck there, which is awesome because most of the time it's an accented flavor.
Well, it's weird because
the back or the front it doesn't really layer through.
To me, the strawberry's in the back palate because I'm stuffed up, so I keep it a lot. It's back here. I can taste the strawberry in the back of my throat and everything else. So it's there. And it's great, especially with the chocolate. I mean, come on, dude. Everyone loves chocolate strawberry. It's like that's how it is. But it's just really cool to see something that's not only aged like this much alcohol, these particular ingredients, and still have like a blended taste that kind of follows through with each other. Because most of those blended tastes, think about it, it's like all of it at one time. It almost pukes it out.
Well, this stuff is what I would call like a connoisseur's beer, where you have to have a certain palate, or you have to have.
No, yeah, not at all.
You know, you can actually drink a strong barrel aged beer that has some flavor, and you're not going to have to wonder if you can, get through it or not. Which we kind of kind of been our conversation all day. Which hats off to you on that because it seems to be a hard thing to do because we only find out by tasting them. Because and then that's kind of you're either gonna like some I'm like, dude, I like bourbon, but I didn't think I was gonna taste a shot of bourbon. Right. Or some even worse, some of the more mass produced ones, it's almost like how they had smoke flavoring.
Yeah, it's flavoring.
It's almost and which I'm completely against. So I know it's got to be hard to do because we tried so many, and some people nail it, some people are okay with it, but the way you made it so drinkable. And not where you have to, be a connoisseur, almost like a cigar or a cognac, where you have to know that flavor and be able to handle it to even enjoy it. This is something where a regular person can pick it up, be able to enjoy all these flavors and this type of strong beer without having to be somebody that's kind of almost had to work their way up to it.
Because it's flavorful, it's easy to drink, it's chill. It's not 11.1 in a taste category. And I promise you, there has to be one person in there that's gone up and
yeah. People get rebellious when they come in. They don't understand, and you try to explain to them, they don't know that the beer they normally drink is a 3% beer. So, you got to kind of watch people. But and you just got to let them know. And it's a great cigar beer, too. I love cigars and beer, and that's why I gravitate towards the bourbon barrel-aged stouts a lot.
So if you're in California, you should come down here and check out this brewery. They have a nice tasting house. They have some couple other locations. Sorry, two. And if you're not lucky enough to be able to drive here, try to find one. Try to trade one. They're all special beers. If you're gonna do a road trip in California, there's a lot of breweries to check out. There's a lot of places, but you got to make a trip out here and try what they got because. That's probably going to be the only chance you're going to get. There's really small batch, so there's only so many out there, so that's what makes it special.
If you can find anything from Brew Rebellion, please pick it up. But we're going to finish this one because it's really good. You guys have a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.